Habits are the small decisions you make and actions you perform every day. Author James Clear from Atomic Habits. Hello everyone, my name is Zach and welcome to On Cash Flow, where I help you become a master of your own cash flow. Now let's get started. Let's jump right into it with one of the most important habits that you can have for financial independence, and that is delayed gratification. We as a human species have developed over thousands of years for instant gratification. However, today we live in a world where instant gratification can lead to catastrophic results. And instead, those of us who are able to develop a mindset and a habit of delayed gratification are able to get ahead. Authors like James Clear like to say that we live in a delayed return environment, whereas in the past, our ancestors did not live in that same kind of environment. Delayed gratification is not only beneficial to your finances, such as when it comes to your spending and when it comes to investing, but it also is beneficial in other aspects of your life, such as what you eat and when you exercise. Delayed gratification has definitely helped me get to where I am today, and I'm still practicing it in many aspects of my life. And by the way, just a short note, I came up with this video by actually watching another video on YouTube, so more on that at the end. But getting on to our next very simple habit, and it is forward thinking. Forward thinking is very beneficial for those of us who want to achieve financial independence, because the way I see it, there are three main types of mindsets that people have. They have mindsets that live in the past, they live in the present, or they live in the future. And while I think a combination of all three of those is very healthy to have for your psyche, I think that by primarily having a forward-thinking mindset, or you have a future mindset, I think that this is the most beneficial for those that want to achieve financial independence. You and I all know people with these different types of mindset. There are people who are always talking about the past, always reminiscing on the past, whether good or bad. There are people who are just really good at enjoying the present and living in the moment now. And then you have those that are always talking about the future, always talking about what's coming next. And you probably have one of these mindsets that you gravitate towards the most as well. I've always been forward thinking. However, in my own life, I'm trying to improve that and trying to move more towards the present moment. I think that all of these mindsets have a role in a healthy life. And that's why I want to calm my future thinking down a little bit and try to live a little bit more in the present. And speaking of having a proper mindset, another thing that you should probably do is hit the like button on this video. I think it's going to lead to the right kind of mindset by you hitting the like button on this video. And of course, it does help me out as well. Thank you. All right, but seriously, getting on to the next one here. I think the habit of tracking is essential. If you want to achieve financial independence, I think you need to have the habit of tracking. And yes, of course, I am referring to tracking your finances, tracking your spending, tracking your investments, your net worth, and all that good stuff. But this can also be applied to other aspects of your life. You can track almost anything. It's a lot easier nowadays to track things. All right, we have all kinds of gadgets and computers and algorithms that are going to help us track the things that are important to us. Because the things that we can track, we can improve. I think the famous quote goes, "You can't improve what you don't measure." There are many things that I personally like to track in my own life so that I can try to improve and I can try to see how I'm doing every day. For example, of course, I track my finances. Currently, I use Personal Capital, which became Empower. I track my investments, I track my spending, I track my net worth, all on that platform. But then I also like to track things when it comes to my health. So I track the workouts that I do, I track how much weight I use, I track my runs, I track how fast I ran and how long I ran and all that kind of stuff. I even track the things I eat. Like I try to log my calories and my protein and things like that. So all of this stuff is relatively easy to track. And if you can get into the habit of tracking things that are important in your life, I think you're going to see a lot of improvement. Not only do I think that tracking is an important habit, but then I think the next habit is also important, and that is reviewing. Okay, so here you have it. You're tracking all of these things, and now you have all of this data, or data, however you like to say it. What good use is having all that information if you're not reviewing it and learning from it? That's why I think that reviewing is another essential habit for financial independence. And reviewing doesn't need to be this super formal, big event or anything like that. It's just simply looking over what you have tracked and learning from it, analyzing it, and seeing how you can improve, how you can do better. By getting into the habit of regularly reviewing what you are tracking, it allows you to take action and thus improve the things that you are tracking. For example, in my own life, I have a weekly review of my finances. Every week I take a look at my budget, how my spending is going. I take a look at my investments. I take a brief look at what my net worth is calculated at that time, and that works for me. I also take the time to review other aspects of my life. For example, my body weight. I weigh myself every morning, and then I take the weekly average at the end of the week because I think that's a more accurate representation of what your weight is throughout the week. And so this applies with pretty much everything you are tracking. If you're not reviewing it in some kind of way, then what's the point of you tracking it in the first place? Before Before I get on to my next habit, this leads me to the big question. I want to know from you in the comments below. What are some other habits that you think are essential or at least very helpful for achieving financial independence? Please let me know in the comments below. I'm really curious to hear what you have to say. One more that I have for you today is learning. Who would have guessed that one, right? I think that getting into the habit of always trying to learn something new, always trying to learn something to do it better is going to help propel you to financial independence. This is one habit that I think ties all of the other ones together. By becoming a lifelong learner, it's going to make all of those other previous good habits possible. No matter how much knowledge you have on a subject, no matter how much experience you have in a field, there is always something that you can learn. There's always something new to learn. There's always something that you can learn to do better, or there's always something that you can learn not to do. And speaking of learning, here's another video that I think you should learn about. And it's actually not from one of my videos this time. It's actually from another YouTuber that inspired me to make this video. And her channel name is Erin Talks Money. She puts out a lot of good videos and they inspire me to make some videos as well. So I'm gonna put Erin's video that's similar to this on this video screen after I get off the screen. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm Zach from OnCashflow.com and I hope to see you next time. I believe that by primarily, and if you can get into the trap it. But then, none.